Hey, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Uh, I hope everybody's doing fine. It's quite early, which that's still yet to be determined. But allegations made against Buffalo Bills and Buffalo Sabres owner Terry Pegula about statements that were made at a meeting back in 2020 or something. And this rodent uh, from the NFL network, Jim Trotter, he got dismissed, and any black person that gets fired from any media place, it's got to be because of discrimination. It can't be because you can't do your job well. You just, you know, job performance has no place in any vocational area anymore. If you get fired, if you're black and you get fired by a white person, it's automatically racism and discrimination. That's the world we live in today. Okay? Alleged statement made by Bills owner Terry Pegula will take center stage in Jim Trotter lawsuit. So he's suing the NFL for these statements that Terry Pegula allegedly made, telling him, if you don't like it, go back to Africa. All right? So that's where it lies. If you don't like it, go back to Africa. Then they say, oh, well, the networks don't have any blacks being represented on it. Turn on ESPN right now. There's no whites represented. It's 80%, 20%. What are these people thinking? Turn on Fox. Turn on the NFL network. What do these people live in? Fairy tale land? All sports media, most of them are black women. I don't have anything against it, but now and again, I'd like to see a 60-year-old white man reporting some of my sports, like a Howard Cosell or somebody. I mean, and half of them ain't any good. There are some that I like, but half of them, they're just filling it up. The lawsuit filed Tuesday by veteran reporter Jim Trotter against the NFL over the termination of his employment with the NFL network. This guy's a bum. He's a scrub. He was so bland on the NFL network, so he got fired. Now all of a sudden, here it comes. The old classic discrimination phrase. Like he really picked a good one out of the air. He said, go back to Africa. Even if he did say go back to Africa, he could say whatever the hell he wants. You could tell me, go back to Sicily. Oh, geez. What? Is that so offensive? Is that so offensive? Then they try to say the NFL is racist. It's got end racism, be it Black Lives Matters and all that other bullshit on every playing field. They got it on their uniforms. They got it on the field. Then now these NFL owners are racist. They're paying these scrub players millions and millions of dollar contracts. I guess you could still be racist. But homeboy's paying your $2 million a week salary that you probably haven't even earned. It's gone out of hand. These race baiters are gone nuts. And this Jim Trotter, he was a scrub reporter. So if he gets terminated, oh gosh, back in 2021, 22, we were at a meeting and Terry Pegula said, hey, you got fired from the NFL network. If you don't like it, go back to Africa. If you don't like it, Jim Trotter, go back to Africa. All right? Go back to Africa. You don't like it. Go report on spear throwing. Okay? Yeah, I said it. They could talk all kinds of shit against whites and Italians and everything else, and it goes into the sunset. It just goes into the air. It just goes right into the air. These candy ass woke rodents that are polluting everything, even the sports media, that's the networks, the stadiums, and everything else. It's gone too far. And this Jim Trotter, he'll never work for another news. He's done. So he's just trying to make a little score on his way out. Okay, here we go. Beginning at paragraph number 125, the civil complaint, Trotter alleges that during a September 3rd Zoom meeting in 2020 with 40 NFL media newsroom employees, an unnamed reporter shared an alleged remark made by Pegula. An unnamed reporter come out with this and said, Terry Pegula told the guy, go back to Africa. Who put him up to this? Black Lives Matters? An unnamed. Unnamed. Can't you see it? During the meeting, an NFL media reporter described a conversation he had with Pegula in which Pegula was specific about recent emphasis on social activism by NFL players. In particular, support for Black Lives Matters. Yeah, we had enough. Pegula probably said, we don't want that shit on our fields. Save that for the outside political world. This is sports. I pay my players millions of dollars. So they didn't like it, probably. They didn't like it. They forced the owners of these stadiums and arenas to put this stuff on the courts. And we want to watch sports. Forget about your racism and everything. It's over. It's over, this race baiting crap. The complaint, Black Lives Matter. As reported, Pegula stated that if black players don't like it here, they should go back to Africa and see how bad it is. This remark was so offensive and racist that people in the meeting appeared to be frozen. Oh, and unsure how to even react. This is so staged, even the way this is written. I mean, Trotter claims that he spoke up during the September 3rd meeting asking whether there'd be a discussion about Pegula's comments. He didn't make those comments, scrub. Trotter was told that the league was investigating the situation because the league knew it was unfounded. He knew that the only thing we know is it's all based on an unnamed reporter. How far will these scumbags go? After nearly a year, Trotter was told that the league described it as an HR matter, and that's the end of it. So the league finally told Trotter, hey, move along, bro, move along. He said, so Trotter told the guy, so we're sweeping it under the rug? After that, Pegula issued a strongly worded denial. The statement attributed to me in Mr. Trotter's complaint is absolutely false. Pegula said in a tweet posted without context, which has more than 1.7 million followers. I'm horrified that anyone would connect me to an allegation of this kind. Racism has no place in our society, and I'm personally disgusted that my name is associated with this complaint. Whether Pegula said what he said will become one of the critical aspects of the case. The harder he and the league double down in denying it, the greater the stakes will become. The league's denying it, and the league is just pro-black. I mean, the league is denying it. The NFL that has all this Black Lives Matters and racism and they're telling them move along. You're a scrub. You got fired because you some people get fired by their job performance. Now, because you happen to be black, geez, I can't take it. Pegula told me go back to Africa at a meeting back in 2020. And if there were 20 other media supervisors there and everything else, wouldn't of that came out? Okay. Trotter can persuade a jury that Pegula said it, if possible. The jury would be more likely to believe the rest of Trotter's blah, 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 blah. You can't convince a jury. You couldn't convince an all-black jury. All right. So Trotter will be able to attempt to prove that Pegula. So Trotter's gonna speak a sworn deposition from Pegula, blah blah blah, and a sworn deposition of the unnamed NFL media reporter who attributed the comment to Pegula. Wow. Yeah. I don't believe Pegula said it. If that was 3 years ago, and during all the rah Black Lives Matters, during the peak of Black Lives Matters and all that bullshit, it didn't even come out. After this bum can't take the pressure. Terry Pegula said in the meeting, go back to Africa. Go back to Africa, bro. You've been coddled. You sucked at your job. And I don't think there'll be I don't think there'll be a sports network now that will touch you with a 10-foot pole, bro. You're trying to make a big score on this, and they're gonna have it on ESPN. Well, turn on ESPN, and then he's trying to say the blacks aren't represented proportionally. Well, if blacks represent a third or a fifth of the population, how come 90% of them are reporters on the sports media? Where's the Italians? Where's the Italians? I want to file if there's an Italian reporter out there, file a lawsuit against ESPN and all the other ones. How come you're not hiring whites? Oh. And the Buffalo Bills owner that pays his players millions of dollars to stink up the joint. 70%, 80% of them are black players. To go out there and stink up, not even give the public a good product. They just draw straws, my dear friends. It's getting sickening. It is just getting sickening how they're just... Who's behind this? Al Sharpton? That bum? And they're starting to take that BLM and end racism. What racism? Like the whole world is racist? I'm not saying racism doesn't exist. It might be here, everything. Murder exists. Every type of crime exists. And us Americans are aware of it. But why do we have to see it plastered up against all surrounding sports? Why? Because they're politicizing these sports networks. The gig is up. Races, there's more mixed couples today than ever. These scum, woke Democrat scums that keep perpetrating this spewing this garbage. He allegedly told the reporter, if you don't like it, go back to Africa. Big deal. If he did say it, big deal. If you don't like it, go back to Africa. What big deal? What is everybody so If somebody said you don't like it, go back to Italy, Joe, would I be It's actually reverse psychology making people. Now, I grew up with all my friends being black, different nationalities, black, Puerto Rican, Italian, my best friends. We talk shit to each other. We talk smack. Worse than this. Worse than that. And we were like this. Your boys and girls are growing up to be fairies and queens. and everything else, sit back while the house is on fire. And I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what they did to this country. Go Joe Biden. Joe Biden 2024. Come on. Come on. Come on. So that's that, my dear friends. Like, share, subscribe. I do all kinds of different things. I like doing the police cams and doing a little series of that. So I appreciate your support. Now on the way out, help me out here. I never beg for hit the like button. I'm doing it now because YouTube is telling me, and I got to get to 500 subscribers. So that's that, folks. What is your opinion on this subject? And I'd like to hear feedback in the comment section. If you could, I'd appreciate it. And I'll just keep coming at you. Boom, 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 bam. Thank you, folks. Have a great day.